Hello and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 20 career mode here in MotoGP, and for this episode we are going to do round 2 at Austin, but of course first we've got to get there, so we'll advance forward a week and see if anything happens. Obviously we've got no notifications right now, and now we've got one on the personal manager front. So is that a new candidate? Yes it is. So another Anita Perez applying, because for some reason we have a weird bug where we just get Anita Perez every single time. So they're going to give us much less credits from the contract. They are slightly better at negotiating, and they're slightly better at finding the contracts. They've got good connections inside the official Suzuki team, so that's quite interesting. And obviously they're also quite a bit cheaper, but they are an A+. What have we got currently? An A++. So we have currently got a better one, so we're going to refuse that for now. So we'll advance forward another week, and then I think that'll just leave one till we go to Austin. Oh, wow, we've got a lot of notifications. Hang on then. So technical staff management, chief engineer, so we've got a new candidate available again. So another Paul Jefferson applying. So really good on the aero, very bad on the engine, very bad on the frame, not bad on the electronics. To be honest, that's not what we want. So we've already fully upgraded the aero, so that being good is irrelevant. The electronics have about 4 upgrades on, so that's kind of irrelevant as well. And we lose 110 points overall. Or if we take into account the 10 then from the electronics, we lose 100 points overall on the synergy, so I'm going to say no to that one. And let's have a look at all these all these notifications on the personal manager front then. So we've got another new candidate here. So Anita Perez, another A++. So we're finally getting there. They've got good connection to the official Yamaha team apparently. Specialised in getting good salary offers, 10 years of experience and manager of many professional riders. So a little bit better on the negotiation, a little bit worse on the money, a little bit worse on finding them. So I'm going to not go with that, but I'm not going to refuse it right now. And we've got many contracts available then. So we've got 9 notifications of search contracts with factory teams then. So Suzuki are now interested in us. We've also got Petronas Yamaha would now be interested in us, and Pramac Racing interested in us. Obviously, I was hoping that we'd probably be able to have these guys as options for this season, but we haven't currently, so not a lot we can do. And then Repsol Honda are not interested, Mission Winner Ducati are not interested, the Monster Energy Yamaha are not interested, and obviously those are the only 3 not interested. So we're actually doing pretty well on the MotoGP front. We've got very high proposal chance if we wanted to move to a team that was already interested in us before. If we wanted to go to Suzuki or Petronas Yamaha or Pramac Ducati. So if we wanted to basically get up onto a factory bike, because the Petronas Yamaha is a factory bike basically, and so is the Pramac Ducati because you get given the first rot. In fact, actually both the Pramac Ducatis this year are GP20s anyway, aren't they? So you're basically on a factory bike if you go to any of the 3 teams that are now interested. Although, to be fair, I'm in the Tech 3 KTM, which is basically a factory KTM. So if we look at the establishment of new teams then, we've got 6 on there. So we've got Tissot Racing Ducati apparently, are now interested, DHL KTM Racing, and Hertz Yamaha Racing. Also Kenwood Aprilia Racing, I think. So obviously DHL Honda GP are already interested. Obviously we won the Moto3 title with a DHL Honda team before. But it's weird how like Hertz Honda team are just interested now, but the bikes are exactly the same. They have higher expectations, but the bikes are exactly the same. It's a bit strange this. So we've still got a few not interested. So GoPro Ducati team, GoPro Yamaha, Kenwood Honda RC, and My World Suzuki. You think they'd be less picky considering they're supposedly new teams coming into MotoGP? Yeah, so that's all those notifications sorted, so we'll go forward another week. And here we are at Austin, so we've got another notification on the personal manager, but it's just going to be another applicant then. This is the new applicant, so another A+, so not so good, so we're going to refuse that. But I'm not sure about this one, I will definitely see if I can keep it. So then, without further ado, I'd say we'll head into the weekend. I feel like we're going to have pretty good pace here, especially over 1 lap. I don't know how well the bike's going to turn in the first sector. Obviously, we were struggling massively in those triple right-handers last time. But overall, Austin's not a great circuit for the AI, and over 1 lap, they're pretty bad. So we'll see how we go. So we're here then in Austin, and it's actually cloudy for the first qualifying session here, Q1 of course. So who's in the session with us? Petrucci is down in here with us. Hang on, we'll have a look at the full list in a second. Petrucci and Miller. So basically 2 factory Ducatis in here to beat. We've got a factory Suzuki. In fact, we've also got Bagnaia, which is another factory Ducati. It's probably not quite got the factory support Miller's got, but it's not far off. So we've got 3 Ducatis to beat here. Obviously we've got Oliveira, Espargaro, Zarco, Lecuona, Alex Marquez. So we've got factory Honda, although I think he has Lorenzo's performance, so he's not great in this game. Tito Rabat, Brad Binder, and Bradley Smith, and obviously myself there. So Bradley Smith trying to qualify on a hard tyre, apparently. So we'll head out on track then. Do a couple of, well, we'll do 1 lap and just see where that kind of puts us, and then if we need to do more, we always can. So Austin, it's a tricky technical circuit, obviously the longest circuit on the calendar. Most corners by really a long way. Basically the polar opposite of Austria. Only 11 corners of that track. I think there's 22 here, maybe 21. I don't remember off the top of my head. So we brake for the first corner. Very interesting corner, very easy to go in wide, very easy to lose the front, as you almost said. I almost did lose the front there. I felt it start to go. So let back off the brake, but actually wasn't a bad first corner. First sector here is really nice. It's probably my favourite sector of the circuit. It's difficult, but it's very nice. Well, I think that could be said about a lot of the track, really. We've gone off, massively off there, so that's going to have affected quite a bit of lap time. You can see, yeah, we're 4 tenths down already. So like I said, the not turning is not going to be great. I need to get used to the bike as well again. So obviously yesterday I was playing online, which is with the Yamaha basically all the time, regardless of what bike you go on, because usually balance performance is on. So it's just the Yamaha. And obviously we're on a KTM here, which is not so good. So we're braking for turn 11 here. We've got it very wide, very, very wide, extremely wide. This has been an awful lap so far. It just kind of reminds me of, I think every other qualifying lap here we've done at Austin has been terrible. So we're 6 tenths down currently on what is the fastest time. So it makes me look like a bit of an idiot for saying AI terrible over one lap and then me doing the same thing. I've got in so hot that I think it's because I'm braking where I should be, but the bike isn't good enough to stop. I think that's the difference. So I'm going to have to try and adapt back to the bike again. So Jean Mir apparently is currently second in the session, so Jean Mir is a rider to beat. We are closing on him, I think, in front, but not by a massive amount. We're going to 15. I've not got that much confidence on the front of this bike, it must be said, so we're trying to get out there. The bike wheeling was 6 tenths off, which, considering how many mistakes we've made, is not horrendous. It's a long track, so 6 tenths is not a lot to find around this track, since obviously it's the longest track in the game by a fairly decent margin. So we're going to turn 19 then, so it must be 20 turns then. So not 21 or 22, it's 20. So as we go into turn 20, speaking of it then, see where that, oh, we've gone massively off again. It's been an awful lap, so 2:05.1, yeah, that is horrendous, right. Okay, I'll see if I can do anything better on this lap. So 1.7 tenths down in the first sector then, that's a really weird way to phrase that. But considering we're in power mode 1, that's not the end of the world. So now we're 3 tenths underneath, so we took a massive chunk out of the time there. It's been a much better lap, it's been so much less scrappy, so we'll brake here then, brake a bit early. So Jan Mir is still second in the session apparently, behind Bang Yaya. So we go into turn 12, I've gone a bit wide again, although it's probably actually not going to really cost us much. In fact, we might have gained from that, to be fair. Although we've gone massively wide here, we definitely didn't gain from that, so it's negated anything we did gain. And Mir's actually probably starting to get in my way a little bit here. I've gone in too wide. I'm starting to make all the mistakes again now that I'm talking. 54 thousandths off the fastest time now. We've got to try and find some time in this last sector. So there's 16 thousandths off in the end, so that is second position, which is good enough currently to go through, but I don't know if that'll be good enough at the end of the session, so I'll head back to the pits because we've not got enough fuel to do another lap, and then maybe I'll come out for another run. So I have to put a new set of tyres on then, because our lap time was in fact beaten by the other AI, so we'll head out onto the track. We've got 3 minutes to go. 2:03.9 now for Miller, so the lap time's come down quite substantially, so we've definitely got something to aim for. Polo Spagro has crashed on another KTM. Currently we're still 4th, which isn't the end of the world, but it would be outside of our objective, so I'd like to try and get in that if I can. It's terrible through the first sector currently, so we're still 6 tenths down, so I'm going to go down to power mode 0, try and save some fuel. Because I think this lap has already gone. I need to go obviously for another one at the end. So at the end of this lap then, oh okay, we've just gone 3rd fastest, so we actually found time in that last sector, even with 0. I think it's just because I wasn't making so many mistakes because I thought the lap was already gone, so hopefully I can try and find some more time. So 42 thousandths off in the first sector, so once again, yeah, we are finding our feet with this bike now. 35 thousandths under the time, so we're currently going to provisional pole for this Q1 session. Now we're 4.5 tenths underneath. We found massive time just by riding the bike much better on this lap, really not riding it like a Yamaha so much, actually riding it like this bike needs to be ridden. Into the final turn then, we've gotten a little bit wide on the power. Try to stop the bike from wheeling up towards the line then. 2:03.2. So then once again, me and Jack Miller advance through qualifying 1. Petrucci actually out of qualifying 1. That's embarrassing for the factory Ducati rider. Obviously Mir not particularly great, to be honest, to be down there. Same with Bagnaia, and Miller shouldn't really be in that session either, but we do advance from it. Seems like the performance isn't great. Bradley Smith down there in last position then, Brad Binder just ahead of him. Iker Lecoin at 11th and Miguel Oliveira in 8th in this session, so obviously those two are not in Q2. So then let's go into Q2 and hopefully we can try and get another like 5th position or something like that. That'd be great. So then we're down in the pits once again now for Q2. So we've got to watch out for these soft tyres. We don't want to use too many of them up, but we should still be okay for now. So let's head out onto the track and hopefully we can try and put a good lap together. So we're a second away from Marquez's time in the first sector. Wow. I suppose he is the king of Kota and he throws our Honda around. At the end of that second sector then we did find some more time on Mark, so only 9/10 down now. Another still 9/10 down through this sector. So it seems like we're pretty actually even with Marquez throughout the lap except the first sector, which is quite nice. If we can find a bit of time in the first sector, means we should be on for a decent qualifying position, but we're very low on fuel actually as we go into turn 19 then. Going to slide the bike through towards turn 20. Spinning it through up towards the line. The bike obviously wanted to wheelie massively up towards the line then. 1.3 seconds off in the end. Obviously we probably lost quite a bit of time to that last corner since the bike was wheeling so much. So then we'll head back to the pits and we'll probably come back out with around 5 minutes to go and see if we can improve that time. Currently in 4th position, that'd be fantastic. So if we look at the standings currently, Marquez is on pole by a good half a second. So to get a decent position, we don't have to improve by all that much because obviously 2:04.4, we can go quicker than that. We did that in Q1, so let's go out and hopefully... Oh, Dovi's now gone second actually, but hopefully we can try and get a decent position on this grid because I really, really want to try and mix it with the front riders again. So then, we're currently bottom of the timesheets in this session. Obviously, 1.4 seconds off pole is quite a bit, so hopefully we can try and find something on this lap. So only 6/10 down in the first sector then, so much better. Still 6/10 away from the time in the second sector, so we didn't gain that 10th back like we did previously, but obviously it's still an improvement. So only half a second away now, so we actually found a 10th in that sector, which I'm quite surprised about. Marquez now goes down in qualifying, although there has been a few crashes, so I think it's probably just a thing with the AI. Rossi's now down as well, so I wonder if those two have come together. Through the last corner, then up towards the line. 2:04.0, so still massively off, still not enough. 7/10 off in the first sector, I don't think this is going to be good enough. 8/10 off, yeah, we're not going to have the pace here. We're going to have to start 11th on the grid, I think, in this race. Up towards the line then, 2:04.1, it's not enough. So then we're really, really struggling at this circuit to actually find some time. It looks like we're really, really close, actually, to the riders in front. We were a lot faster in Q1. I don't understand how I couldn't find that pace again. I think I just did a really, really good lap. So we're actually quite far off of Marquez, almost a second away, which it is a long circuit. But we did out-qualify Miller, so we still beat him coming into Q2. But obviously we got out-qualified by a Leish, which isn't as good. Although that's probably a bit more to be expected. I think obviously at Qatar we did just a really good qualifying lap and it did help us in the race. We seem to have a slightly better race pace actually compared to the AI than qualifying pace. So hopefully we can try and gain some positions, but I think we'll have to save fighting with the top guys till probably later on in the season or maybe next season. So Marquez on pole then 2/10 ahead of Quartararo, 3/10 ahead of Dovi, so it did close up towards the end. Cal Crutchlow again in 4th, so Crutchlow actually doing pretty well this season to be honest. But the top 4 in the championship, obviously in the top 4 positions on the grid, just not in the same order. So we'll head down to the grid now and hopefully we can have a decent race. So we're down here on the grid then, and it is sunny here in Austin. Only 7 laps obviously compared to Qatar, where we had a few more since this track is a little bit longer. Although not a massive amount longer because we're in the 150s at Qatar, we're in the 2 minutes here, so it's only a 10 seconds longer. Although I suppose on a MotoGP bike you travel very far in 10 seconds. So 11th on the grid, that does meet our qualifying goal. I didn't actually mention that, but qualifying goal is the 4th row, and we're starting on the 4th row. It's shown me twice here for some reason. Quite why it's done that, I don't know. I think we'll go forward perhaps in the race, especially on the first lap. The AI are quite tentative on the first lap at this circuit. Obviously I don't want to go in absolutely, charging in and having contact and stuff like that with them, but it would be nice if I can maybe get a bit of time on them. This track doesn't really suit our bike very well. You need to be able to turn and stop really well, which our bike doesn't do. It's not too bad in the mid corner, but on the entrance and basically it's on the entrance, so stopping the bike and actually getting it turned, it's quite poor. But in the middle of the corner you can do quite a bit, and the engine isn't atrocious, it just wheelies a lot. So we might need to put some upgrades on to be a little bit more competitive, but at the minute I'm enjoying having to fight the bike to try and get a decent position obviously. So without further ado, we'll start this race and hopefully we can try and go forward from 11th here. So Marquez then, will he be able to get his winning streak going here at Austin once again? Obviously he lost it last year due to the crash he had in the race. So waiting for the lights to go out here at Austin. The lights and away we go. Use a Power Mode 2 off the start, try and get a decent one. Had a bit of a wheelie, but it's not been too bad. Back down to Palmo 1. Miller's looking at the inside. We hit the brakes then for the first corner, doing a bit of a stoppie. We're on the inside. We could get pinched. Miller's hit us. There's been a crash. Polo Spagro's gone down, so we're down to 12th place now, actually. Petrucci around the outside, so we're down to 13th. So it's not been a very good start there. We got obviously a bit pinched on the inside. Obviously got hit by Miller as well, so we're trying to go around the outside of Aleix now. Around the outside of Aleix. Up into 12th place again. But Aleix is still hanging it in there. Oh, side by side with Aleix. Petrucci looking for a move on Miller. We're looking for a move on, well, both of them actually, on the inside there. So I think we've passed Aleix now. Will Aleix be still on our inside? No, he's not. Petrucci trying to go around the outside of Rossi and Miller here. And Miller's left the door open. It's not going to allow us to get back through. Alex Marquez hits it to the side of us there. Alex Marquez trying to go around the outside, but we've got past Alex Marquez. We've got past Miller now. He took a very strange line there. So back up into 11th position where we started. And Rossi's down in 10th here. Almost had a look up the inside of Valentino into that corner. Miller's just hit us at the back, so few of the, well, actually Miller's hit us twice at the back now in some of these hairpins. I think it just shows our bike does not have the, the ability to turn well enough. We need to slow the bike down a massive amount to actually get it turned. But Rossi's got 4/10 on us now. But we're hitting the brakes again for the end of the straight. We are really closing up on them. I think they've just braked a bit early though, to be honest. I was half expecting a dive bomb from Miller there. But Rossi and Morbidelli, they all seem to be going pretty defensive into here. We're looking for the outside move on Rossi. We can't quite do it. Rossi's trying to find a way past Morbidelli now. I'm going to look at the inside. Oh, I can't quite get the inside of Morbidelli. Morbidelli on the inside of Rossi. I've run in a bit wide. Is that going to allow someone to get the inside of me? No, it's not. So we're still in 11th position, but we've really actually been held up by these two Yamahas here. Didn't think I'd ever be held up by Valentino Rossi, but there you go. Looking for trying to get the inside of him, but we can't quite do it. Clipping that inside curb a little bit. We're looking for the outside on Rossi again. Rossi's actually riding really defensively, really well, which obviously you would expect from him. As we go towards the final corner, then up the inside of Rossi, we finally get up the inside of him. So up into 10th place, so we're back up into the top 10. Marquez is miles ahead of us there. So 2:08.6 on that first lap then. We're passing Morbidelli on this straight as well. So up into 9th place. Petrucci up next. He's having a look on Nakagami. Obviously he qualified appallingly, so he's not had a bad start to be fair. Morbidelli up the inside of us again though. Morbidelli re-overtakes us. I re-overtake Morbidelli right round the outside through the first corner though. So the next person ahead of us is Danilo Petrucci. That's who I'm on the hunt for. Didn't take us long to catch him. He didn't do that section very well, and we're really closing on him now. At the end of this first sector of the second lap, seems like we've found our feet a little bit in the race now compared to the beginning. Obviously, at the beginning, I really didn't want to have any contact with anyone, so I was trying to be careful. Although we still had a bit of contact. Petrucci's really taken that appallingly. So up the inside of Petrucci, but we're wheeling side by side with Petrucci. Petrucci's actually probably going to keep it just because of the anti-wheelie on our bike not being very good. But side by side with him we go. We've passed him now as we go towards turn 11, but I've gone in a bit wide. It's probably going to line back up the inside. Yes, it is. I'm going to try and hang it around the outside, bit on the green there, so I'm going to let him keep the position. So on this straight then, battling with a Faccia Ducati, which is always nice, although we beat him in the previous race, so we're trying to get the slipstream on him. So we go down towards this turn 12, so we're past him now. Nakagami up next. It seems to be a bit of a train all the way up to the front here. And Petrucci back up the inside, but we've managed to keep the position for now. So through turn 14, flicking it over into 15. I had a look up the inside of Nakagami then, but we couldn't make anything stick. You can seem to be able to get quite a good run on them. I think I did it to Martin in Moto 2 as well, but they hold the inside pretty well there. Is Nakagami going to run wide through here? I can hear him getting on and off the throttle. It's obviously a little tricky corner this one, turn 18. It's hard to try and find the sweet spot, the amount of throttle you want into the penultimate turn. Then Nakagami continues to be in front of us. Don't think we're close enough to do what we did to Valentino. No, we're not. So I didn't actually have to try too hard to outbrake him there because we were alongside him. So we've got the last corner then, 2:04.9 to Marquez, 2:05.1, so only a couple tenths off in there, flying past Nakagami, back up into 7th position. So Maverick Vinales ahead of us then. We've gone in a bit wide into the first corner. Is that going to allow Nakagami back through? No, it's not actually. Morbidelli managed to get back past us when we did that, but Nakagami didn't. So Maverick Vinales on the Faccia Yamaha ahead of us once again. Just like in Qatar actually, we've got to hunt him down. So as we go down towards turn 11, then hitting the brakes, we're on the inside of Vinales and have to back out because it looks like he's turning in anyway. Although he's not had the best run through there. We're trying to pick up the bike nice and early. Side by side with Vinales then. Have we got the power against him? Yes, we have. So up into 6th position. So it's been a fantastic race so far. 7 tenths ahead to Cal Crutchlow, and then we'll be able to match our performance from last time, even with a worse qualifying position. So I'll take that happily. Is Vinales coming back at us though, up the inside? Yes, he is. I don't know if he just did the corner cut that Bezzecchi did last season in Moto 2, but we've got to get back past Vinales again now then. Through 15 then, we've really got the run compared to Vinales. We've got straight past him. So up into 6th place now then. So it actually seems like Dovi's leading a bit of a train ahead of us, actually holding everybody up. And Marquez has cleared off. Look at how far Marquez is in the lead. So I think Marquez has got this one fairly won. So that'll be 50 points to Marquez. So I believe Dovizioso put a hard rear tyre on, so it's perhaps not coming in yet, and he's holding everyone up. So look how far Marquez is in the lead. Don't know what time he just did. We did a 2:04.5, which is the fastest lap of the race. So we're going slower than we were in qualifying, of course, but so are the AI, so we actually seem to have better relative pace in the race. Rossi's now battling with Miller in 12th and 13th. That's not a good day for Valentino. Oh, on the inside of Crutchlow, that was unexpected. Sort of just closed up to him on the curb, gone past him, but I think he's going to hold it here, actually. We're not going to quite be able to do it. Let's try and hold it around the outside. No. So Crutchlow back ahead of us again. But they are really slow in that section. That's where we're catching them massively. Here we go, we've got the run through turn 9, side by side with Crutchlow once again. I don't want to get bashed off by him this time. So we've passed Crutchlow this time through a corner rather than on the straight. Obviously we passed him on the straight at Qatar using the better exit. Here he comes back up the inside though, but I think we've got the position for now. Yes we have, so up into 5th place where we finished in the last one, and we've got the run on Rins actually. So we're going side by side with Alex Rins. Up into 4th place there. Fabio Quartararo ahead, but I don't think I'm going to try and pass him into this hairpin. Although we're closing up on him massively, I've had to kind of just dive out of his way, and around the outside we go. We've actually just gone past Quartararo. I was not expecting that, so an output into the podium positions once again, like in the last race where we were running 3rd very, very briefly. If you look at the fuel though, we've not got a massive amount of fuel left. We seem to have lost quite a bit on that first lap when we ran power mode 2 on the run into the first corner. I think that's like Quartararo back at the inside, Quartararo back at the inside, but I'm back at the inside of Quartararo again. I saw him coming. And we seem to have got the run on Dovi here. We're going to be able to get past Dovi through this turn 16. He's run a little bit wide, although that's probably the slightly better line. We're looking for the move on the inside, but we can't quite do it yet, I don't think. The bike almost high-siding us there on the curb. We're actually pressurising Andrea Dovizioso, but look how far Marquez is in the lead. Then we've got the run on Dovi up the inside into the last corner. We've actually just taken 2nd position here in a MotoGP race. I'm quite happy with that one. Up towards the line then. 2:05.0, so not quite as fast, side by side with Andrea Dovizioso as we go towards the first corner. Marquez is just on the fastest lap of the race, 2:04.5. So Marquez clear it off. He's just taken our fastest lap away from us. Is that going to allow Dovizioso back up the inside through turn 1? No, it's not. So we've got 2nd position now. Can we try and hunt down Marc Marquez? Oh, Dovi's back up the inside. I did not expect that at all. Andrea Dovizioso, fantastic move. So forget hunting down Marquez. That's allowed Quartararo back through as well, because I was on the totally wrong line there. Here we go then. We've got the run on Quartararo. I'm going to try and hold it up the inside. I don't want to back out this time. So we go then, we've passed Quartararo. I looked for the inside on Dovizioso there, but may as well just wait a little bit longer here because Quartararo back at the inside there. Quartararo not wanting to lose his podium position. Obviously he wants to keep his podium streak running. So in the slipstream of Dovizioso then, I'm going to try and save some fuel because we are a little bit marginal. We're not too bad actually. I thought we were a bit worse. We're saving some fuel here on Dovizioso up the inside into turn 12. I know I can outbrake them here, it seems like. Obviously went around the outside of Quartararo on the previous lap. Has Dovi come back up the inside of us though? Yes he has. I went in a bit hot there. But we've got the run on Dovi. He's going to have the inside for the next corner though. We're going to hold it round the outside. I couldn't turn in fully because he was still there. So fantastic battles with Dovizioso here. We're trying to hold it through. We're now back in front of Dovizioso into turn 15. But again we've got it hot. But no, he's almost hit us at the back. Actually we've forced him wide with us. And that's lost him in position to Quartararo there. So I didn't mean to do that. I think Dovizioso just misjudged what I was doing there. So that's put us up into 2nd position once again. So Marquez is 5.1 seconds in the lead. So I don't think I'll be looking for a way around him. Looks like we're probably okay for fuel now. There's a crash. Tito Rabat's gone down. We're now only 4.9 seconds behind Marquez, so we've caught him up a little bit, but I don't think it's really meaning anything. He's probably just backed off now. He's so far ahead. Dovi's dropped far back now. He's down to 8th place, and I think Alex Marquez is actually coming through. So 2:04.5 on that lap then. So actually a new fastest lap, so we're half a second faster than Marquez. It looks like we're not going to have enough to catch him, but we actually probably could have caught him if we hadn't been re-overtaken by well, probably not actually have caught him there, but if we'd started near the front we probably would have had the pace to go with him. Aleix Espargaro crashes then. It's unfortunate for him. Bradley Smith down as well, so both the Brilliants down within the space of a few seconds of each other. 3.6 seconds down. Marquez is struggling, I think. Oh, it's a shame. If we'd all worked together we probably could have reeled him back in, because he's losing hand over fist here. Into the last corner then. So come out the last corner for the final time, up towards the line. 2:04.0, so a fastest lap by a good half a second on the final lap there. So then, a really, really good second race for us. 3.7 seconds behind Marc Marquez. Second position, fantastic, fantastic result. That's definitely within our goal of top 15. Fabio Quartararo third and Cal Crutchlow fourth then. So mirroring the previous race, it seems like I've replaced Dovi. Petrucci climbed up to 5th place, so fantastic race for Petrucci from where he started. Alex Marquez up to 6th as well, that's a really good result for him. Dovizioso dropped down to 9th. He must have had something with his tyres because he was holding that whole pack up, and then as soon as we got past him, so did everybody else. So it seems like we ruined his momentum by getting past him. Nakagami ended up 10th, then Miller 11th, Morbidelli 12th. Where did Rossi end up? Rossi ended up 16th outside the points. 2:06.7 was Rossi's fastest lap. So Iker Lecuona ended up 18th, but Oliveira ended up 15th. So we got some more points on the board then for the team. And, well, Aleix Spargaro retiring, Tito about retiring, and same with Pol Espargaro. Bradley Smith must have got back on then, so we'll have to have a look what happened with those guys. But yeah, Dovi just seemed to drop back. Alex Rins apparently has the fastest lap of the race, like a 2:03.9, but I don't believe that happened. On that last lap, I gapped that group by quite a bit. You can see I was 1.2 seconds in front of them by the flag, which I wasn't before. So I'm going to say that my fastest lap again was the legitimate fastest lap. But yeah, by the end of the race, we'd really picked up some decent pace. It was quite strange. You'd think you'd actually lose pace at the end, but I'm not really struggling with tyre wear anymore like I was in Moto 2 so much, so I seem to pick up the pace as the race goes on. It's quite strange. So then in the championship then, I move up to 3rd place on the Tech 3 KTM. Fabio Quartararo moves up to 2nd, so Marquez has now got an 18-point lead in the championship, obviously because Quartararo came 3rd twice. He's got to 9. I'm only 1 point behind him in the championship as well. Andrea Dovizioso moves down to 4th after a pretty bad result. Cal Crutchlow ends up in 5th actually, still 1 point behind Dovizioso there. Vinales stays 6th, Rins stays 7th. Petrucci actually moves up places in the championship up to 8th. Alex Marquez up to 9th. Miller down to 10th. Rossi down to 11th. He's got 8 points. Rossi's got 8 points. Obviously Lecuona moves down a few positions. Obviously he had a fantastic result in the previous race. And Oliveira moves down a couple despite actually scoring points. I'm guessing because Nakagami and Zarco scored some decent points in this round as well. So in the team's championship then, we actually move ahead of Monster Energy Yamaha. Ooh, that'll sting. We're only 2 points behind Petronas Yamaha as well, so we're actually doing pretty good so far. Repsol Honda leading by 20 points ahead of the Ducati team. Obviously Dovizioso not having a very good race here in Austin. Petrucci had a terrible qualifying, but in his defence he pulled it back in the race. He did a good job on the Sunday, so you can't begrudge him that too much. And then the Constructors' Championship, then Honda obviously still have 50 points. Yamaha move up to 2nd with 32 points, and we move up to 3rd with 31. So only 1 point behind Yamaha, because I'm guessing the Yamaha total is literally just Quartararo's, and the KTM is just mine, because we've both been at the top of our respective manufacturers. We're actually joint with Ducati though for 3rd place there. We'll head into the career hub and we'll end off the episode there. So I actually forgot that we get to go to Parc Ferme here, so we get this cutscene, then we actually get one where we jump up on the podium and get to spray the champagne. But yeah, that was a rewarding race. Coming through from 11th there, I thought we were actually going to be really, really slow after qualifying. But in the race, we had fantastic pace, even better than we did in Qatar. And I think we could have beat Marquez if we'd started further up the order today. We were gaining on him so much. I just needed a couple more laps, really.
Here are the stars of the day, enjoying a round of applause from the team and fans. Everyone gave it their all today. You can't deny that.
And here we are onto the podium. The hat just doesn't look like it fits. It looks so strange. I think they maybe would have customised hats then for each model, but the hats just look off. I don't know what it is about them. But we've got the MotoGP champagne. We're spraying the champagne, even though... Actually, is Quartararo 21 now? Yeah, I think he is, isn't he? So he would be able to spray the champagne, but I wouldn't, because it's America. I'd have to have something that's not champagne. So then, reputation-wise, we gained 8,950, which brings us up to 301,150 reputation points. And once again, getting a very healthy salary, 32,863 credits, which takes us up to 255,659 credits. So then, once again, we've got a lot of notifications. I'm guessing these are mainly just the ones from before. Yeah, it's just telling me that Suzuki, Petronas, and Pramac are interested, even though it already told me that. Yeah, and these same fake teams are interested as well. So I don't know why it tells you that twice. So personal badges. So we've got another applicant applying, another A grade. Got good connections to the official Aprilia team. Well, I saw that bike's performance in this race, and I don't really want to stay there. So then we've also got technical staff notification. Another A grade. But again, actually better on the engine. Cheaper overall. And also good on the electronics, I suppose. But I'm actually going to keep that one there, because after we've done the electronics, that's an improvement. So... yeah, I'm not going to not hire this one, I'm going to actually keep that one there. But that's where we'll end this episode then, so I hope you did enjoy that one. I definitely did. It was a very, very good race, very enjoyable. Trying to muscle that bike around, it feels better on heavy fuel. That's what it feels like to me anyway. As it got through the race, the bike started to feel a bit worse, especially through the first sector. The AI actually started being quicker than me again, like in qualifying. So that's definitely something to take into account. Maybe when the bike's lighter, I'm struggling to throw it accurately. I don't know. But I was still lapping quicker. I think it's just because round the rest of the circuit I was quicker because I had less fuel and things like that. And obviously the tyres were nice and hot, but they weren't too worn, which is definitely a bit of a change. Usually I'm spinning a rear tyre up in career mode, but yeah, this time not so much. So very enjoyable. But I hope you did enjoy that video then. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next video.